At some point every evening, they disappear. One moment, your yard is alive. Cardinals at the feeder chickadees moving through the maple. A robin pulling the last worm from the lawn before the light goes. And then, in the space of about 20 minutes, they are gone. The feeders are empty. The branches are still the yard that was full of life an hour ago. Looks like a different place entirely. Where did they go? Most people assume the birds are simply somewhere else in the neighborhood, flying around, roosting vaguely in trees, doing whatever birds do when humans stop watching. But the reality is far more specific, far more deliberate, far stranger than most people realize. What happens to your birds between dusk and dawn is one of the least observed and most extraordinary parts of their lives. Tonight, while you are asleep, the birds in your yard will do things that would stop you mid-breath if you could see them. Some of them will drop their body temperature by degrees to survive the cold. Some of them will pack together in spaces so small you would not believe. Some of them, the ones you never think of as travelers, will be flying hundreds of miles. Welcome back to Bird Sense. Subscribe before you leave, because what you are about to learn happens every single night, completely invisible to you, and it will change the way you think about the birds. Tonight, we are going into the dark, into what your birds actually do. Stay until the end, because the last thing we cover happens directly above your house, on certain nights each spring and fall, and the scale of it is something most people never grasp. Number 1. Where your birds actually go when the sun sets. The answer is not where most people imagine. The northern cardinal is the easiest to track. Cardinals do not roost far from where they spend the day. In the hour before sunset, a male cardinal will move to dense vegetation. He chooses the densest cover available, not for warmth primarily, but for protection. A sleeping bird is a vulnerable bird, and dense vegetation is like invisibility. He will go to the same roost site night after night for weeks or months at a time. If you have a thick holly bush, there is a chance a cardinal has been sleeping in it. The chickadee's nighttime strategy is different and considerably more surprising. On cold nights, black-capped chickadees enter a state called regulated hypothermia. They deliberately lower their body temperature by up to 22 degrees Fahrenheit. Their metabolism slows dramatically. Their heart rate drops. They are not fully asleep. They are closer to a controlled shutdown. A chickadee weighs about 11 grams. That is roughly the weight of 2 pennies. On a cold winter night, the energy budget of that tiny bird is so tight. Without regulated hypothermia, it might not survive to morning. With it, it does. The roost site matters too. Chickadees find cavities, old woodpecker holes, or gaps. The walls of the cavity trap the warmth of the bird's body and reduce heat loss. Number 2. The communal roost, when birds pack together to survive. The eastern bluebird is striking. Bluebirds are territorial during the breeding season. A male bluebird defends his nest box aggressively and will not tolerate approach. But in winter, that same bluebird will squeeze into a nest box with up to a dozen others. The territorial rules are suspended. The calculation in winter is simple: shared heat. Researchers have documented nest boxes that contained 12 to 15 bluebirds. The house wren and Carolina wren do something similar to survive the cold. The nest boxes you maintain are not just breeding infrastructure, they are survival infrastructure. Number 3. How birds navigate the dark and what they are listening for. A sleeping bird is operating in unihemispheric slow-wave sleep. Many birds can sleep with one eye open, literally. Ducks sleeping in a row keep the outward-facing eye open, monitoring for predators. The snap of a branch can trigger immediate alertness. They are never fully unconscious. The great horned owl that calls at 10 p.m. is being heard by every bird in range. The alarm call of a robin flushed by a cat travels to sleeping chickadees nearby. Number 4. The birds you never knew were nocturnal. Robins in well-lit yards will begin singing hours before dawn due to artificial light. If you have ever heard birdsong in the middle of the night, it was almost certainly a robin. Mourning doves are among the heaviest sleepers, seemingly oblivious. But they launch into fast whistling flight in complete darkness if threatened. Number 5. What is flying over your house right now? Twice a year, the night sky fills with birds. On peak nights, they reach into the millions. The wood thrush that visits your yard in summer is flying north at night above you right now. The ruby-throated hummingbird crossed the Gulf of Mexico last night in 1900-mile flight. Birdcast tracks this in real time. Radar shows what looks like a weather system, but it's birds. This is happening above your house tonight. They are following paths millions of years old. The yard goes quiet at dusk, but it is not absence, it is concealment. The chickadee is in the oak, its metabolism pulling back to the minimum to survive. Somewhere above your roofline, birds are passing through in their thousands. They have just moved into the part of their lives you have never been able to see. Tell me in the comments, have you ever heard birds singing in the middle of the night? I read everyone. I'll see you in the next one.